Last year, Earth had a visitor from another planet who had a grudge match that leveled a small town. We learned that not only are we not alone, but we are hopelessly, hilariously outgunned.
I guess Nick Fury forgot about the 90s. Hey everybody, and thanks for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. So last night I went out to see the latest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Captain Marvel. So naturally I wanted to jump on camera and share my thoughts and opinions about the movie. If you've seen the movie and you want to share your thoughts and opinions about the movie, I welcome you to do so, and I'd love for you to do so down in the comment section below. Let's have a fun conversation going. And with all that out of the way, let's talk about Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel stars Brie Larson as the title character, and this is her debut in the MCU. After landing on Earth, Carol Danvers, or as she's known by the Kree as Veers, meets up with Agent Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson, and together they uncover a past that Carol is not aware of that she had. So first, let's talk about Brie Larson as this character of Carol. I really like this character, and I really like Brie Larson's portrayal of this character too. She gives a lot of personality to Carol. She's very witty, she's snarky, she's got a lot of angst and attitude. The character has a lot of strength, and Brie Larson brings a lot of charm to this character. Also, Samuel L. Jackson's portrayal of Nick Fury in this movie is a very refreshing portrayal of this character. We've seen this character in many other MCU movies, but he's always about business, he's very serious. In this movie, Nick Fury is much younger. It takes place in 1995, but he's still kind of fresh in the agency world. Seeing this younger Nick Fury is a lot of fun because he's so different from the Nick Fury that we're used to. He's kind of naive, he has a sense of humor, and Samuel L. Jackson actually gets to show off a goofy side to Nick Fury in this movie. I never knew Nick Fury loved cats so much. And Brie Larson and Nick Fury together in this movie, they were a lot of fun together. They had great chemistry. I really like watching them develop a relationship and bond. And in the scenes when they first meet up and start to work together are a lot of fun. They have a real buddy cop kind of vibe to those scenes. And honestly, this relationship that they had in this movie just makes me want to see them reunite in the future in the MCU. And the intergalactic aspect of this movie I actually really enjoyed as well. Obviously, the space scenes in this movie have to be somewhat similar to Guardians of the Galaxy since it's in the MCU, and they definitely are. This feels like it's in the same world as the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but at the same time, the space scenes and the intergalactic scenes where they're on Kree and on other planets and in space feel like they're their own scenes in this movie. They have elements that look very similar and are similar to the Guardians of the Galaxy, like the makeup looks for the aliens, the wardrobes, the spaceships, and the space travel. But at the same time, I didn't feel like I was watching a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It felt like those scenes really worked on their own in this movie. And because it's an MCU movie, of course there's a lot of humor in this movie. But at first, the humor in this movie and how it was used felt very jarring to me. Especially with the Skrulls, who are promoted in the trailers and in all the promotional footage to be the villains of the movie. Those characters are actually quite humorous, and at first it felt really off to me. I didn't understand why they were going for this direction and this tone with these characters, but at a certain point in the movie, it clicked with me. I understood why the humor was there, and I started to get on board with it, and once I got on board with it, I had a lot of fun with the humor, and I enjoyed the humor in this movie quite a bit. As for some negatives about this movie, I did feel like some aspects in this movie retconned a little bit of the stuff that we've seen in the MCU before, like the clip I showed at the beginning as a joke. That kind of was in my head the whole time, and also there's a point, I won't give it away because I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a point where the characters find something somewhere that I didn't understand how it could be there because last time we saw it, it was here. Hopefully I'm not too obvious and I just gave it away for you. But when that scene showed up, I was just kind of like, wait, how? I was trying to put it together. I'm still trying to put it together, to be honest. But when you watch the movie, I'm sure you'll find out what I'm talking about when it pops up. Also, there were some Easter eggs and tie-ins to the MCU. Because this is a prequel in the MCU, they do explain some things that we already know and how those things happened. And I didn't feel like it was always necessary to see how those things developed and where they came from. And there was one thing in particular that they showed how it happened, which I thought was funny. But at the same time, if it was done in a more serious way, I felt like it would have added more weight. When I go back and watch the past MCUs that take place in the future from this movie, and that thing is mentioned, I'm gonna snicker every time I hear about it because I know how that thing happened. And also, while I liked the character of Captain Marvel, and I felt that it was cool that Brie Larson played a very strong character, there was a point in the movie where I felt like she got a little too overpowered. I was watching the scene and I was like, huh. How on earth do you stop someone like that? It felt like how in the game Mario, when Mario gets the star that bounces and you hit it, and then you can just run through all the enemies because you're basically invincible. That's how watching that scene felt. And when I was watching it, I was just like, does she have a weakness? Is there any way that this character can get hurt? Because it just seemed too overpowered to me. I would be worried if I were you. But with all that being said, I had a really fun time with Captain Marvel. With all the trailers that came out, it didn't really get me hyped for this movie. I felt like the trailers were kind of bland. They weren't that energized. But after watching this movie, it was better than I expected it to be. And with 21 movies in, the Marvel train is still going very strong for me. I'm staying on board. I don't want this train to stop anytime soon. Captain Marvel is another adventure I had a blast with in this universe, and another character that I was introduced to that I can't wait to see more of within the MCU. Now that Captain Marvel has come and been released and is now in theaters, the next destination on this train is Avengers Endgame, and I can't wait to get there. Guys, thanks again for clicking on this video, checking out my channel, and hearing my thoughts on Captain Marvel. But I don't want you to just sit there and hear my thoughts and opinions on Captain Marvel. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions as well. So if you've seen the movie, comment down below in the comment section what you thought about Captain Marvel, and I'd love to get a conversation going with you. Once again, guys, my name's Zachary Milne. Thank you for talking movies with me, and I hope you have yourself a great day.